Hey guys, how's it going? Lagbro here. Leaguestart for 3.10 Delirium is today. I'm gonna make a quick guide for my Leaguestart and maybe help someone with some ideas. If you like this video, remember to like it and subscribe to the channel for a lot more upcoming content in 3.10. My Leaguestart in 3.10 is going to be the Perfect Ice Nova by Arcinde. Sorry if I butchered your name. His build is a very capable boss killer, has decent clear speed and very sustainable with 12k effective HP. The build uses items like Pledge of Hands, Skyforth, and Pandemonious, and didn't really get touched by the patch notes. However, there is some really good cluster jewels that we can go for later on. The link to his awesome forum guide is in the description, together with all of his path of buildings. So that is the end goal of my Leaguestart, but I'm not gonna start with a 6-link Pledge of Hands and Pandemonious, am I? No, so my plan is to start with Stormbrands until we have a 6-link, either Tablia or a 6-link staff. So here comes a guide on how to level with Stormbrand and how I'm gonna go forward. This way of leveling takes me to maps in about 4 to 5 hours, and have in mind that I'm nowhere close to being a good speedrunner. Let's start by the pros and cons of this leveling method. Pros. Good clear when you have Brand Recall. Brand Recall is an instant cast, so you can keep running and just cast your Brand Recall on cooldown, and it's gonna keep your brands up for a long time. Safe boss killing. Since brands last quite a while on bosses and you don't need to recast that often, it's basically a damage over time build. Can do all acts with just plus flat lightning damage crafted on your wands. So for the cons, you have to play as a Templar with no pants for a while. Low life pool, since I invest almost nothing in life in the beginning and we go pure damage. It's kind of boring to look at how many brands you have up all of the time. And until we get Brand Recall in Act 2, it really feels bad, man, unless you can get a friend to give you Swift Assembly early. Okay, so a quick rundown of the gems and when you get them. Start by buying Stormblast Mine when you have killed Hillock. Look for a blue-blue-green wand or a scepter, doesn't matter what you go for. Check for movement speed boots and links from Tarly. You want 2 blue-blue-greens this early. Always check for movement speed when you're in town if you leveled since the last time you checked. Vendors reset every time you level. Start running and go for Mudflats straight away and kill using Stormblast Mine. After Mudflats and after we killed Hellrake, grab Quicksilver and Onslaught from Nessa, buy an Orb of Storms and Arcane Surge if you can afford it, grab Frostbomb and Frostblink from Tarly. When you hit level 4, link Frostbomb with Onslaught and equip Frostblink and Arcane Surge if you have the sockets. Also equip Orb of Storms. Link Stormblast with Swift Assembly if you have a friend that can give it to you. Your friend has to be past Submerged Passage and be either a Witch, Shadow, Ranger or Duelist to be able to buy it. If you hit level 8 before Brutus, I would recommend crafting a lightning damage to spell, wand or scepter. If you sell a magic wand or a scepter with a normal topaz ring and an alteration, this will give you a wand with a flat lightning damage to spells roll with required level 8. Sapphire rings give you cold damage and ruby rings give you fire damage. The type you go for now doesn't really matter. If you use a magic ring, you will get a higher tier of mods, which will give you a level 14 level requirement. If you use a rare ring, you will have a required level 20 wand. I do not recommend this. You want the flat lightning damage for Merveil, so get the normal ring and make the wand. When killing bosses with Stormblast Mines, you want to try to get a huge pre-stack before you trigger the boss. Then you trigger the boss, cast Orb of Storms and start exploding your mines and keep throwing mines all the time. The reason you want to do Orb of Storms is every time you use a lightning skill when you have Orb of Storms nearby, you're going to trigger Orb of Storms, so it's going to do extra lightning damage every time you throw a mine. After you kill Brutus, pick up Added Lightning and buy another Added Lightning if you have the transmute for it, and pick up Flame Dash from Tarly. Link Added Lightning with Frostbomb and link the other one with Stormblast Mine. So your links should now be Stormblast Mine, Added Lightning, and maybe Swift Assembly, Frostbomb, Onslaught and Added Lightning, Orb of Storms, Frostblink and Arcane Surge. When you hit level 10, you can swap Frostblink for Flame Dash, but Flame Dash got nerfed a bit and Frostblink got buffed a bit in this league, so it's up to you which one you go for. If you hit level 12 before Merveil, you can pick up Stormbrand and cast that on her for some extra damage. Even though we get Stormbrand on level 12, I keep using Frostbomb until we hit level 16 for Brand Recall. So on level 16 we pick up Herald of Ice, Herald of Thunder, Brand Recall, Concentrated Effect, and Wave of Conviction. Skip Wave of Conviction if you cannot afford it. Swap Frostbomb for Stormbrand linked with Add Lightning and Onslaught, I also want to start using Wave of Conviction instead of Stormblast Mine, but you can still run Stormblast Mine if you prefer that. Links for Wave of Conviction would be Wave of Conviction, Added Lightning, and Concentrated Effect. So now starts the good part about this leveling process. Just Stormbrand up to your maximum, and then start running and spam Brand Recall on cooldown, and your brands stay up for a long ass time and will kill stuff for you. Use Wave of Conviction on Orb of Storms on tougher enemies. In Act 3, you pick up Conductivity, and now we have all the skill gems we need up until maps. When you get a 4-link, link your Stormbrand with Concentrated Effect as well. When you manage to get a Silver Flask, you can drop Onslaught from your Stormbrand setup, and either go for Unleash, which they buffed now in 3.10, or Added Cold or Control Destruction. Okay, so that's a very basic walkthrough of the skill gems and how we're gonna level this. I hope I didn't miss anything. If I did, feel free to add it in the comments below. Okay, so for our skill tree, we start off going damage, elemental damage, retribution for some more damage. We get amplify. After amplify, you got a choice of going area effect and getting more damage instantly, or going for the life and then damage. After that, after these, we go up to elemental overload. We're gonna use elemental overload until crit outweighs the damage we get from elemental overload. So on level 25, we grab cooldown recovery speed for movement skills, and some cast speed and some movement speed and that spell damage over here. And we also grab Lightning Walker for some more lightning damage. After that, on level 43, we go towards Rune Binder. You can either go through the life nodes here, that's 1 point less, or you can go through the life nodes here and up there, that's 1 point more. So that's a choice you can make. We also go for Explosive Runes, which gives you some more brand damage and also brand attachment range. And at this point, we also pick up our first lab, which will be Sign of Purpose. This will give you an additional brand. That doesn't matter that much. Enemies take 10% increased damage for each of your brands attached to them. That's a 20% more multiplier. And the most important thing on this is Brand Recall has 30% increased cooldown recovery speed. This will make your Brand Recall come off cooldown much faster, and you will keep your brands up for a lot longer. And also some brand attachment range there. Second lab we're going for is Conviction of Power. After that, you can go any one you want. This will give us power charges and endurance charges, which is great. So for our level 65 tree, we're just filling in some more life nodes. We're filling in some more damage, some more life, and we go over towards Runesmith. This will give you brand duration. This is a great quality of life. It also gives you some damage and some brand activation range and an additional brand. After that, I would start going into crit and start going into life and swap over to my end game build. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this quick Leaguestart idea that I had. I wish you all the best of luck on your Leaguestart, and if you have any specific questions, leave them in the comments or come ask them on Twitch. I stream on Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays, and I'm also gonna have some sick cosplay for Leaguestart, so come check it out.